Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji's. We're going to start the Srimad Bhagavatam class. My name is Naimisharanya Das. I'm a disciple of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari O Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari O Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. O Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Srila Gurudeva. O Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Oh Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we're going to be starting our Srimad Bhagavatam class today. We're going to be reading from Canto 3, chapter number 9, text number 30. We'll go straight to the text today. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Chapter 9 is titled Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy, and we are text number 30. Bhuyastvam tapa atisha Vidyam chaiva mat ashrayam Tabhyam antardi brahman Lokan drakshyasi apavritan Bhuyastvam tapat atisha Vidyam chaiva mat ashrayam Tabhyam antardi brahman Lokan drakshyasi apavritan Bhuyastvam tapa atisha Vidyam chaiva mat ashrayam Tabhyam antariti brahman Lokan drakshyasi apavritan. Would anybody like to say it? Bhuyastvam tapatisha Vidyanchaiva mat ashrayam. Thank you. Ashraya. Abhyamantariti Brahman Lokan Drakshyasi Apavritan. So Prabhu just reminded me that we'll be reading text 23 today. So we'll go to the translation of text number 23 instead. Of 30? Okay. So we'll do the translation of 30 first. Yeah, then we'll go back to 23. Translation of text 30, translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Brahma, situate yourself in penance and meditation and follow the principles of knowledge to receive my favor. By these actions, you will be able to understand everything from within your heart. Please repeat. O Brahma, situate yourself in penance and meditation and follow the principles of knowledge to receive my favor. By these actions, you will be able to understand everything from within your heart. Now we'll go to text 23, translation. Translation. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, is always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. His activities are always enacted through his internal potency, Rama, or the goddess of fortune. I pray only to engage in his service in the creation of the material world. And I pray that I not be materially affected by the works, for thus I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the creator. Please repeat. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, is always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. His activities are always enacted through his internal potency, which is Rama, or the goddess of fortune. I pray only to engage in his service in the creation of the material world. And I pray that I not be materially affected by my works, for thus I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the creator. Do we all have some false prestige? Yes, we all do, right? A little bit. Okay, let's read the purport. Would somebody like to read the purport? Do we have a mic, Prabhu? Okay, I'll start till we get the mic. Purport. In the matter of material creation, maintenance and destruction, there are three incarnations of the material modes of nature: Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwar. But the Lord's incarnation as Vishnu, in his internal potency, is the supreme energy for the total activities. Brahma, who is only an assistant in the modes of creation, wanted to remain in his actual position as an instrument of the Lord, instead of being puffed up by the false prestige of thinking himself the creator. That is the way of becoming dear to the Supreme Lord and receiving his benediction. Foolish men want to take credit for all creations made by them, but intelligent persons know very well that not a blade of grass can move without the will of the Lord. Thus, all the credit for wonderful creation must go to him. By spiritual consciousness only can one be free from the contamination of material affection and receive the benedictions offered by the Lord. Hare Krishna. So does everybody know the context of what's happening so far? If not, I can give you some context. Would you like some context? Okay. Okay, so we're in the part where Lord Brahma has just, Lord Brahma is the person who is going to be creating this material universe, if you will. And Lord Brahma has just come out from the lotus flower which emanates from Vishnu's navel. So Lord Vishnu comes in three aspects. So he's in the spiritual world. So Krishna is in the spiritual world. From Krishna we get the first incarnation. From there we get the second plenary expansion. And then we get Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu is actually lying down on in his perspiration, which is the causal ocean. From him comes Garbhodaksha Vishnu, but Garbhodaksha Vishnu is coming after he breathes out, right? And from each of his pores we have a material universe which comes out. Each material universe we have a Vishnu who is actually present, and that Vishnu is trying to maintain or create. From the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu we get Lord Brahma. So we are at this point where we have Lord Brahma who is just come out from the lotus flower, and he is confused. He doesn't know what is the purpose of his life. What does he need to do? It's completely dark. So just imagine, he's just come out, he's the only being, it's completely dark, and he has no idea what his purpose is, who he is, what his purpose is. So what Lord Brahma does is that he actually goes down the stem of the lotus flower, and he goes all the way to the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu to understand who am I? But still he doesn't get any answer. So he travels back all the way up, and when he comes up, he actually realizes that there's a lot of noise which is happening in the ocean which is below. And then he hears a sound. What was the sound he hears? Tapa, or penance, tapasya. So Krishna instructed Lord Brahma through the sound that he needs to do penance. He needs to do tapasya. So when Lord Brahma gets this instruction and he understands what his purpose was to actually create this material universe. And the way to do that was first to take all the different planets and put all the planets in different positions, right? To make all these planets to float. After he got all the planets to float, his purpose was to progenate, to put entities in each of these planets. So based on different gross bodies, his purpose was to put all these different bodies in different planets. But when he realized that this is what he needs to do, he was very, very confused, right? And when he was confused, he prayed to Krishna. And these are the prayers. Lord Brahma is praying to Lord Krishna that, "Oh Krishna, what is the purpose? What do I need to do? I'm getting very bewildered." And then Krishna says that don't worry, because you have now surrendered unto me, I will show you the way. And the way was through penance and by meditation, right? So what is penance? What is penance to you? Austerity. So we have seen in India that we have many people who are doing austerities, like they jump into the fire, or they're sitting on a bed of nails, or in hot summer they have a circle of fire and they're sitting inside. Is that penance? A little bit, yeah. But Srila Prabhupada explains penance actually means to go within, to actually avoid our senses to flow into the material energy but actually to direct it to spiritual energy. Right? So that is the first piece. Our senses are attracted to all the material objects. Our senses get attracted to a material object and then we want it. Right? We see a beautiful object and we want it. We see something nice and we want to drive it. Right? What happens when we actually have this attachment? Right? When we get attachment to a material object, lust develops in our heart. And when lust develops, what happens? Anger arises. Why does anger arise when we have lust? Because our lust is never satisfied. Right? And when anger arrives, complete bewilderment happens. Right? And when we get bewildered, our intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, everything gets lost. So Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that the way for us to avoid this is to go within. Right? And this is what Krishna is explaining to Lord Brahma when he's praying to Krishna, that Krishna, please help me. I'm bewildered. So Krishna says, you have to go within. By going within, he was able to realize that he is a spirit spark. He is a Jiva Atma. He's just a spirit spark. He is not the creator. Like here in text 23, we see that he is praying that, oh Krishna, please allow me to be able to do my work by giving up the false prestige of being the creator. So he's trying to come to the point of understanding that he is a Jiva Atma. He is a spirit spark. But then Krishna explains that this is not all. We want to go a little bit more deeper. We want to understand that when we go within, we also have somebody who is sitting right with us. Who is the person who's sitting right with us? Paramatma. Right? Paramatma. Paramatma is the super soul who is sitting in our hearts. He is the witness. He is witnessing all our activities. And based on the activities what we perform, we get certain things out of it, right? However, just by coming to the point of Paramatma, Krishna also explains that what happens after we understand the Paramatma concept. Then the Jiva, they surrender to Krishna, right? Just like how Lord Brahma is doing here. As soon as Lord Brahma understood that he is a Jiva, Krishna is a supreme personality, he surrendered to Krishna and he offered wonderful prayers to Krishna, right? And when Brahma offered his prayers to Krishna, Shri Radha Kalachanji ki jai. When Brahma offered his prayers to Krishna, he surrendered to Krishna, right? So this is a very important point. Surrender is the start of our bhakti process. Only when we surrender and we understand that we are not the supreme, we are not the creator, but we are just a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is when our bhakti starts. So then, what happens after we understand the Paramatma concept, right? We then need to go a little bit more further to understand who is Bhagwan. So what is the difference between Paramatma and Bhagwan? Anyone? So there are three concepts so far, right? Yes. And Bhagavan, yes. So the super soul, Paramatma, is actually in an inactive state. He is only witnessing what we are doing. When we start to surrender to Paramatma, and here we see Lord Brahma, he completely surrendered to Krishna and he came in front of Krishna and said, Krishna, I do not know what I need to do. Please help me. Right? There are many times in our lives when we come to that position that we are completely helpless. Has that happened to you or just me? All of us, right? We're completely helpless. When that happens, we surrender to Krishna. We share our heart to Krishna, because Krishna is our true friend. He has been our friend for millions, eternity, right? Millions of years. So when we share our heart to Krishna, Krishna then becomes active. And then he comes into the Bhagwan aspect, where we then see that Krishna then starts to reciprocate with Lord Brahma, right? So this is the third aspect, which is of Bhagwan. So Bhagwan is the active state. And there are different stages of Bhagwan being active. So we see from Vishnu, he was active in the Garbhodakshaya stage, Karanodakshaya stage, Shirodakshaya stage. We then see Krishna, who is active in the Narayan stage, right? In Narayan, he is comfortably sitting on a throne with Lakshmi sitting next to him, and he is speaking and having interaction with all his different devotees, like Nanda and Sunanda, right? He's telling Nanda and Sunanda, how are you doing? He's talking to Lakshmi, he sometimes smiles, and Lakshmi is asking him, why are you smiling, my lord? And then he explains that, yes, there is this devotee who is meditating upon me. He's trying to make Jai Shri Radha Kalachandji ki Jai. This devotee is meditating and making wonderful kheer for me, right? We know this pastime where there was a devotee who was just meditating on making wonderful sweet rice for the Lord. And he tried to get the best of the best ingredients, the best almonds, the best cashews, the best rice, the best elaichi. And as he was meditating and making the sweet rice, he wanted to actually touch the sweet rice to make sure that the sweet rice is okay for the Lord to taste. And as soon as he touched his finger, he got burnt. His meditation was so deep that in his meditation, his gross body actually got burnt. And when Lakshmi Devi heard this from Krishna, from Vishnu, from Narayan, immediately Lakshmi Devi said to Narayan, please, let's bring this devotee here. And Narayan told Nanda and Sunanda that let's take out the chariot and bring this devotee here. Right? So this is in the active stage. And then we have a more active stage, which is Goloka Vrindavan. Right? In Vraja, Krishna is so active that Krishna is running around, playing with all his devotees. Right? Krishna never sleeps in Vrindavan. In the morning he wakes up, his dear mother and all his friends dress him up. He goes out to play with his friends, the Gopas. He comes back after killing all the demons. He comes back, he's hungry, he has his prasadam, his bhoga. And then after that, Mother Yashoda again dresses him and then puts him to bed, right? Mother Yashoda is singing some sweet lullabies to her dear son, puts him to bed, and then Gopal goes to bed. But does Gopal sleep? As soon as Mother Yashoda leaves, Gopal springs up and he goes and plays with his gopis, with the gopi friends. So Krishna is so active in Vraja. That's why it is called Vraja. Vraja means active. Everything is active there except one thing. Do you all know what is not active there? Time. So everything is active, but time there is not active. Which is so different from the material world, right? Here everything is inactive except time. Right? Time is just going. So that is the difference between the spiritual world and the material world. So Krishna here explains that Lord Brahma had to go internal, right? Look within, understand who you are, understand the Paramatma concept, and then when you surrender and do some service, you understand who Bhagavan is. I hope now it's clear. Paramatma and Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the active, when you're having relationship with Krishna, with with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You're serving Krishna. So, the service aspect is very, very important. However, there's something more deeper, and that was given by Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya explained that we don't have to only look internal, but also look external, and that is the Sankirtan movement. So the Sankirtan movement is that when we actually utilize everything for Krishna's service. This was an idea by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The idea was given shape by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and it was implemented by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. Right? Srila Prabhupada gave us, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada gave us the formula in which we can actually, in this very state of material place where we are in, we are able to utilize everything in Krishna's service. And that is the Sankirtan movement, my dear friends. The Sankirtan movement actually allows us to be in direct association with Krishna. So what does that mean? Let's go back to Goloka Vrindavan. When the gopis and the gopas and all the devotees there are serving Krishna, they're making wonderful garlands for Krishna, right? Here when we notice that our devotees are making garlands, like we saw in Janmashtami, right? And Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, devotees went all out, right? You can see the wonderful decorations we have here, beautiful lights, peacocks, lotus, right? Lotus flowers, on the altar we have such beautiful garlands. This is all spiritual activity. What we are doing there, we are doing here. We're serving Krishna. We're utilizing everything for the pleasure of Krishna. And that is the Sankirtan movement. So in Kali Yuga, Sankirtan is the most important. That is the only way through which we are able to go back home, back to Godhead. Right? We are able to then achieve who we are, who Krishna is, and what is our relationship with Krishna. The best way for us to perform this Sankirtan movement is by distributing the gift what we have got to everybody we see. And Srila Prabhupada has given a perfect way for us to do that, which is by distributing his books, by distributing transcendental knowledge. When we go out on the streets, knock on each door, and give out these books, we are then trying to bring all the different people closer to Krishna, right? And that is the Sankirtan movement. That is non-different from doing a spiritual activity. So that is the essence. So the main point here, what we discussed today was how Lord Brahma, he was praying to Krishna, right? He was praying to the Lord that, oh my dear Lord, what is my purpose? I understand that I am a spirit spark. You are the supreme spark, right? You're the supreme personality of Godhead. Please instruct me. He offered wonderful prayers. He surrendered. Krishna explained that you have to go within by penance and meditation. And when you do that, you will be able to then serve. And then Krishna will be able to explain from within. Yes, Prabhu. So we'll...
When he told him to do penance, what did that consist of? Was it the practice in the text, or was it like rituals, or what exactly was penance for him?
Yeah, so that's a nice question. So the question, what was your name, Prabhu?
Oh, Lucid.
Lucid.
Yes.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Nice to have you here. So the question is that when Lord Brahma was instructed to do penance, what was it? What did it consist of? So Lord Brahma, he went down into the stem of the lotus flower. He went down all the way, to the bottom to understand what is my purpose, what do I need to do. He still didn't get any answers. So when he came back up, he actually heard, from the ocean which was beneath, he heard a sound. And the sound vibration he heard was tha-pa, tha-pa, tha-pa. And he understood that this is Krishna who is trying to instruct him by the sound vibration that he needs to meditate on the sound. And then Lord Brahma sat in penance for millions of years to actually do his penance. So his penance consisted of just focusing on the sound vibration, right? And we notice that Lord Brahma, he is the person from which our sampradaya is coming out, right? The Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we can see that he is our Acharya. And he was the one who actually showed by example that he sat very firmly. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, he sat firmly and he meditated on the sound vibration. And that is our instruction, right? In the Kali Yuga, our instruction is that through the sound vibration of the holy name, which is the 16 syllables, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we meditate and give our attention to the sound vibration, this sound vibration is non-different from the spiritual sound which is coming. It's a transcendental sound, it's not a material sound. When this sound vibration enters the ear holes, it goes all the way into our heart and it cleanses our heart of any coverings which we have, right? And when those coverings are cleansed up, then we are able to understand who we actually are. Like currently we are so riveted in this body that we start to think that this is who I am. You know, this is my clothes, this is my car, this is my house. You know, these are my friends, my parents, right? We're so riveted. However, when we actually meditate on the sound vibration, the holy name, we come to the point that we realize that we are not this body, but we are a spirit spark. And when we understand that we are a spirit spark, we then understand who our Father is, who Krishna is, and what is our relationship with Krishna, right? And that is the Sankirtan movement. The Sankirtan movement is how can we utilize anything and everything for the pleasure of the Lord. Hope that was okay. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
I know you had to make some adjustments, and wow, it was wonderful. I was really appreciating your mentioning of the Sankirtan movement and how important it is to, receive this knowledge and give it to others. And I was thinking about how it's really well put in this verse, in the sense that when we engage in the Sankirtan movement, it really helps us to get detached from our works, because we become so attached to spreading Krishna consciousness, and that's all we can think about. And so then we become naturally detached that this is just what I'm doing so that it can help me in my Sankirtan. And another point I wanted to make is that Krishna House, we went to UTD yesterday, and we are doing Sankirtan right now, Sankirtan. And we have some wonderful new devotees that are coming. And so we started Harinam, and you could see that we were all trying to get used to each other. It was really working. And but everybody's mood was so nice to please Krishna. I actually had to take a phone call, and I left for an hour, and I came back. And you could just see how everybody was just meshing together, and that Krishna was really just the center. The kirtan was just roaring. I noticed that a few books had gone out. And so this desire to please Krishna by spreading the Sankirtan movement is just so powerful that it's not like purifying ourselves, it's purifying others, and it becomes the thing that helps us to detach ourselves from our work, our attachments. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, when we go out on Sankirtan, it's magic. Like when we go and meet different souls, right, who are just waiting. Like sometimes we start to judge people, right? Like when we look at people, we feel like, oh, this person's not ready, right? However, we have no idea who is ready and who is not. All we need to do is leave everyone with a good impression, right? That is our purpose. We are ambassadors of Srila Prabhupada's mission. We have to go out and give this gift, what we have received, to others, right? And how do we do that? By being good ambassadors, leaving everyone with a very good impression. When everybody sees that, this person is a nice lady, nice gentleman, right? They get attracted, right? And when we share the books which Srila Prabhupada has painstakingly written, right? He used to sleep for just 2 hours every night. And all night he used to translate these books. Why? Why did he do that? Right? He did that for all of us. Right? He was in Vrindavan for 12 years. Right? He had a lifetime of preparation. But he could be there. Right? He could have perfected his life there. Right? He could have perfected his life. However, he actually wanted to come out here to share this gift to everyone and see the effect. We have devotees in every town and village, right? Every town and village. So, yeah, when we go out on Sankirtan and we meet people, Krishna actually is very, very pleased. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that somebody who actually goes out to deliver this message is actually very, very dear to me. So, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
We have 2 hands in the back there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for your class. Actually, at the start, I felt maybe Brahma had an identity crisis, and I think a lot of people have that problem. Like they do not know what is the purpose of life, and unfortunately, they go to different different things. They try to find out to different means. So I just wanted to make a comment on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Krishna says that too, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, who remembers? There are 4 people who come to Krishna. The inquisitive, the distressed, somebody who's looking for material gain, and somebody who's seeking knowledge, right? So one was the distressed, right? We're all distressed. We all have an identity crisis. Who are we? Where have we come from? Where are we going? Am I the creator? Does everybody around me have to serve me? We're all thinking that, right? And Lord Brahma is explaining this from his pastime, that even though he was the creator, right? In this verse he says that, please Krishna, he's praying, Krishna, I pray that I may not be materially affected by the works which I'm about to do, for thus I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the creator. It's actually you. I am just an instrument. So, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So here in this verse, text 23, Brahma's praying to be able to do his service nicely, but also to give up the false prestige of having done it. So I was just thinking about that when we make some contribution, it's natural that we want to be appreciated. We want to feel that others value us for what we've done. But then at the same time, we don't want to become prideful, in a way that leads to fall, because they say pride cometh before a fall. So what is the line between a healthy, desire to be appreciated or valued, and false prestige, which is, unfavorable?
Yeah, so the human tendency is that we want to be appreciated, right? However, it all comes down to the desire in which we are doing our service, right? The mood in which we do our service. Are we doing the service for others to see what we are doing? Or are we doing it in the mood to serve Krishna? And it all comes down to that, right? I have a very nice pastime, right? And there was a devotee here. I don't want to embarrass this devotee, but such a nice devotee, right? This devotee was the pujari one day, and he was a little bit late, before 7 o'clock, and there was some other person, some other devotee who started the arti. And I then spoke to Prabhu, and I said that, Prabhu, why didn't you just go in and said that, it's my service, I would like to do it. And something which really touched my heart was, he said, well, he's the boss. It's not about who does it, but if he's getting served, then I'm happy. And that really touched me, because that showed that it's not about taking the credit, but it's about collectively cooperating to be able to please Krishna. And if you're able to do that, then we're in the right mood of doing our service. It's not about us showing Krishna what we're doing, but we want Krishna to see us, what little bit we are trying to do. So for us to be motivated, we're still at that point where we do want to give motivation to others, so we're able to bring everybody together. So it's very nice to be grateful to others, to motivate others, to share the kind of service they're doing. But within our heart, we should understand that we're just grateful that we're in this movement and we're trying to serve in a little way. Hope that was okay. Hare Krishna.
I was thinking in that matter that the devotee's attitude is everything's coming from Krishna, and that everything is Krishna's arrangement. So there's some kind of hope in there that by some way, shape, form, we'll understand that Krishna's pleased. And sometimes that comes from the mouth of others, right? Thank you for that service, or that, but almost unanimous, I'm trying to say, at the same time, when we're hearing that appreciation and knowing it's from Krishna, we automatically give it back to him, right? Thank you, Krishna, you gave me this opportunity to do this service. I think, so appreciative of being able to do a little something. Matter of fact, I can't even do nothing unless you gave me this opportunity, or gave me your mercy that I was able to do this. So I was thinking maybe that desire for appreciation is that desire that Krishna, we want to be seen by Krishna. We want to, we want his attention. Matter of fact, Srila Prabhupada, I'm remembering, he says, if people say, I want to see God, he says, then qualify yourself to see God. Make it so that Krishna wants to see you. So do some kind of service that's wonderful, that Krishna will go, oh wow, look at this person. And then maybe we get lucky and then, hear it from somebody else, or we hear it from him that he's, appreciating it. Hare Krishna.
Nice, thank you. Hare Krishna. I saw a hand here, yeah. You had a question, right? Here comes the mic.
Yeah, I did earlier. You said that someone came to Krishna with 4 things. It was distress, knowledge, material possession, and then what was the 4th thing?
Distress, knowledge, material possession, and inquisitiveness. Being inquisitive.
Inquisitiveness?
Inquisitive, yeah. The curious. Okay, we'll take one last reflection before we stop. Yes, Prabhu.
Advertising. So we have a couple of Sankirtan opportunities coming up. These are outside book distribution festivals. One is on September 24th and one more on October 14th. So please, if anyone would like to join, please come. We'll post the details on Kalachanji's Sankirtan team for those who would like to join. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, and we also have Bhadra Purnima coming. So Bhadra Purnima is the day, it's in the Bhagavatam, in the Canto 12, Chapter 13, text number 13. And it says that on that full moon Bhadra day, if you gift a Srimad Bhagavatam to anybody, you will go back home, back to Godhead. So, if you want to take advantage, you can contact Achyuta Govind Prabhu and he can set you up so you can go back home, back to Godhead. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.